Hair-Pocalypse. Aiden Allen was a grubby kid. His clothes were always wrinkled, his shoes were always untied, and he always seemed to have grass stains on his knees, but none of that was the problem. The real problem was that Aiden Allen's hair was completely out of control. It wasn't just messy, it seemed to have a mind of its own. Lie down, hair. Why can't you behave? His hair seemed to move. His hair seemed to shrug. That is not possible, Aiden thought. Aiden reached into a drawer and pulled out his mom's big blue brush. But when he brushed, the bristles immediately became tangled in his greasy locks. His hair seemed to be grabbing the brush. His hair spun the brush in a circle, then flung it into the toilet. This is not good. At the breakfast table, Dad looked up from his phone and shook his head in dismay. Aiden, your hair is crazy. You have to do something. I already tried, Aiden said. Better try again. But then the school bus honked its horn in front of Aiden's house. There's just no time, Aiden said as he grabbed his spoon and downed his cereal. On the bus, Aiden's hair tied itself into 3 bows. Aiden knew everyone was staring at him. He tried to pretend nothing was happening. But at school, Connolly Bentham spotted Aiden and his crazy hair right away. It had formed airplane wings on the side of Aiden's head. There's no way Connolly would stay silent. Look at Aiden Allen's hair, she shouted. Stop doing this. But from the first bell on, his crazy hair did anything but stop. During art class, Aiden's hair grabbed some paintbrushes and spattered paint everywhere. Knock it off. At lunch, Aiden's hair formed a giant, dangerous raptor and blew over Noah Foster's milk, right onto his pants. Stupid, stupid hair. At recess, Aiden's hair turned into an octopus-like creature. It wrapped around Connolly Bentham and her friends and yanked them into a nearby puddle. You're the worst hair in the whole world. After recess, Aiden felt defeated. His hair was worse than ever. Telling his hair what to do wasn't working. Yelling at his hair wasn't working either. He took a big breath and talked to his hair. Why are you doing this? What do you want? Immediately, his hair formed a magnificent mass of curls. Then it formed a long ponytail blowing in some imaginary wind. Then it rose up in a great shiny mohawk. Then it fell into a flowing mullet. So, what, you want to be styled? No way. There's got to be another way to make you happy. For a moment, there was silence. Then, something moved through his hair. The words, "Wash me." On the bus ride home, Aiden and his hair discussed a plan to fix their issues. Aiden was exhausted. Clearly, his hair felt exhausted too. It lay lifeless and flat, even worse than usual. That night, Aiden took a shower before his dad asked him to. He sang a song, and he sudded up his hair. Aiden and his hair had come to an agreement. Aiden would wash every weekday, but weekends were days to be totally grubby. At the breakfast table the next morning, Dad looked up from his phone and shook his head in amazement. Your hair looks fantastic. Thanks, Aiden replied. But your shirt is dirty and your shoelaces are untied, his dad said. I'm a grubby kid, Dad. I'm doing the best I can right now. Then Aiden Allen and his hair headed to school, a little less grubby and a lot more confident. Now it's time to start our art project. Grab a pencil, paper, anything that you have around the house to draw with. Let's create a hairstyle that has a life of its own. Start by creating a head shape, neck and shoulders. Don't forget the ears. Now when you're drawing the hair, maybe just start with some creative shapes. Add some shapes inside your head shape. Draw some shapes coming off the top of your head shape. Add some shapes around your head shape or behind your head shape. Once you have your hairstyle, you can go into each shape, adding more lines and creating texture. Now it's time for the face. Don't forget, your face should have some kind of reaction to this really, really crazy hair.